Hello, and welcome to your first manifestation chat for 2024. My name's Carolyn Willman, and we are going to start the year off with a message from Helene Hadsel. This was something that I found in her files that I want to share with you. It was on one of the many diskettes that I found. I know, diskettes, right? And I printed it off. I also blogged it if you want to go and read it on my Words for Winning site. But I wanted to read it for you here because Helene was a wizard with words. And this was written the January before she passed. She passed at the end of October that year. But she always looked to the future, even if she had no idea what the future held. She was always boldly going into the unknown. This was called Projecting for the year 2010. And her advice, 14 years later, to me still rings absolutely true. This is timeless wisdom. The year 2009 is coming to an end. It had been a challenging year for many. In today's paper, it stated that 1 out of 8 adults and 1 out of 4 children are on food stamps. The economy has not been good. And sadly, the suicide rate escalates drastically between Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve. Wouldn't it be a blessing if all people would be aware that help is just a thought away from the spiritual realms? Ask to receive, knock to open, seek to find has always been available since a higher force is on call 24 hours a day, ready to help us through doom and gloom. Perhaps we can't control global issues, but we can control what we do and think. Now is the time to again remind everyone that we are what we think. I suggest that you write it down and keep it handy and memorize it lest you forget. This was her favorite. I'll call it a poem. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. By Frank Outlaw. We all, as a human race on the planet Earth, were born to follow a spiritual path. Did you ever notice that people who are aware of the spiritual aspects of man seem to float as they walk, smile a lot, give hugs and compliments, both of which are free? You can also sense an open honesty and something magical about them. If you are still not aware how one gets on the spiritual path, then you need to reread the above. Thought creates. Change your thinking. Well, she had written this down. Change your thinking, change your life. Get it? Books, tapes, and lectures offer good suggestions for finding your spirituality. YouTube was around then, but I don't think she had discovered it as a medium to find things. And now with podcasts, boy, things have changed. Meditation and prayer also provide powerful tools to tap into your God power. There is a God aspect in every one of us, and we are gifted in one way or another. Are you using yours? Spirituality is based on unconditional love, and it's up to our gift of free will what we do with it. What a wonderful world it would be if we all chose the light force of spirituality. Then the negative energy that's around the world and is so powerful at this time would be diminished. If you want to join me for a joyous holiday season and a happy, healthiest, prosperous 2010, here are a few more tips that you might want to follow. Let your New Year's resolutions be to forgive and forget. Remember, what goes around comes around. Always keep faith and hope alive. Never let negative doubts pull you down. You are always in control of what you think. Respect each other and let the love flow through you towards all that come into your presence. Helene Hadsall. What a fantastic way to start this episode as we set goals for 2024. Because although those that follow astrology say the new year doesn't actually start until Aries season, which is near the end of March, a lot of us still like to celebrate the season and the calendar new year by setting goals each time. I have 5 points that I want to go over with you tonight to help you realize your goals. Now, I set goals every year. And last year, I had set a heap of goals and almost none of them happened because my business took a sharp turn right or left. I don't know. It didn't go in the direction that I thought. And I accomplished a whole bunch of other things, none of which were even on my radar. So be prepared for things to take a hard turn or a loop back when you're goal setting. My goal was, I had originally planned to finish writing Prizes Everywhere. And I had wanted to revamp my entire Contest Queen website. And I wanted to get better at content creation on Instagram. And what I ended up doing was I normally publish one book every 1 to 2 years. So that was my Prizes Everywhere year. Prizes Everywhere goal. Instead, that has been worked on, but not very often. It will be published this year. What I ended up doing was buying the rights to 10 more books and 5. I lose track. I'm still not sure if some are duplicated. 5 or 6 audio series by Tag Powell and Judith Powell. So instead of publishing my one book, I published 1 paperback, 1 Spanish translation, 2 Audible books, and I'm halfway through updating Money and You, which is another paperback book, and the Spanish translation of In Contact with Other Realms. So basically, I got 4 books done and 2 half done when I normally do 1. That was pretty good accomplishment, even though it wasn't even on my radar. So even though I think it's a little lofty, I'm putting a book a month on my 2024 goal list because the Spanish one and the Money and You are half done. So my goal is to get them out January, February. This month, next week, I'm starting to record A Man Called Friday. So we'll have another Audible book. And then basically I'm just going to sit and publish 1 book after another and translate 1 book after another, and then just continue 1 Audible book after another. So I'll be doing a paperback in conjunction with an Audible, in conjunction with a translation, and they'll just kind of go over each other throughout the whole year. And we'll see how many I can do. I'm putting out 12, but I have no idea if I can accomplish that. That's my big goal. Hence, Contest Queen didn't get done at all because I had to do what I've known I had to do literally for years, and that was create an author's website. So Words for Winning was born, and now I had double the social channels. I had another whole set of social channels. I had a whole nother set of email. I had a whole nother set. So the money that was going to be used to revamp Contest Queen built an entirely new website, which is still being worked on. However, you can go over there as I'm frequently posting new articles and things that I find from Helene. And as you know, Helene Hadsall worked with Jose Silva. And one of the books that I purchased the rights to from Tag Powell is a Silva mind control book. So something else that came up that wasn't even on my radar is I started Silva instructor training. I'm not quite halfway through that program. The goal is by the end of it, I can teach the Silva method. And because I'm doing the books and Helene worked with Jose, and Tag Powell was also a Silva instructor. It just made sense for me to get certified. Again, that wasn't on the list. So for example, in a recent blog post, I'm sharing the links to all the free Silva instructor training courses that are online. And that is the same introductory course that Helene Hansel took and how she met Jose. How cool is that? So you can actually take that same class for free to learn about the Silva method and see if it's right for you, the same way Helene did. So I had to share that. I thought that was so fascinating. Laura wants to know if that's in conflict with Mindvalley. No, it's not actually, because the courses that I shared are with the Silva Canada program. Mindvalley is teaching the Silva Ultramind system, which is the update that Jose did just before he passed away. It's a slightly different system than the one he originally created. And this one's been modernized. The Silva method, they took away the word spine control. The Silva method, this is the update, not a new version of the original program that he created. And honestly, I've done both, and I do like the original. For me, it's really, he really covers all the bases. I can't tell you the number of times I see videos or speakers and they're talking about something and I'm thinking, yeah, Jose taught us a form of that. Oh, Jose taught us how to do that. Oh, we learned to do that from Jose. He covered so many aspects, and he was doing this from the 40s and 50s. And Helene met him in the 60s when he finally created a course. And she met him the same year he launched it. So she moved into her house. It took me a minute to figure out the timeline, because when she wrote In Contact with Other Realms, because she didn't write it till 2001, she had a few of the dates wrong. And it took me, I fixed the date because I realized she met him a few months after she moved into the house that she won. And she moved in 65, and he started teaching in 66. So she was actually at one of the very, very first introductory classes that he taught. That's how she ended up being his assistant, which is very cool. It's very cool. Yeah, Laura says, I just started his book. Yeah, it's very good. I think you're going to like it. He does, a lot of people talk about mind movies, doing mind movies and mind mapping. And he was teaching that back, well, I guess that would be 60 years ago. That sounds very long ago now when I say that, right? Because we're in 2024 and he was teaching it in 66. We're almost at that mark. And so that's what you'll find over at Words for Winning. And I'm going to keep posting things throughout the year that I find. And sadly, because I don't have access to any of his estate for Tag, I can't get any of his files or anything like that. So all I have are his books and the courses, and there's nothing really online. I got 2 or 3 pieces that I'm going to be able to share. One of them is a video that's up on YouTube, and that's it. So unfortunately, I don't have more to share about him. But I've also gotten in touch with Ken Costa. I believe that's how I pronounce his last name. And he is a Silva instructor that is in the United States. And it was trained by Jose. He knew Helene and he knew Tag. And one of my 2024 goals is to go and take the Silva training with him in the United States, and also stay longer and talk with him, maybe even have him on this show as a guest. Cross your fingers. Let's see if we can't make that happen. And I believe he also has introductory classes, so you can check it out. If you go to thesilvamethod.com, you can see, because there's people all over the world that are interested, you can check out their instructors and see what they offer. But because of where I live, and I've been working with Stephen Dobosh, who's the head of Silva Canada, And I help out in all the training. I've turned into a little bit of Helene, a little bit of Tag. I assist at all the training. So if you come, you'll see me there. And that's what I've been doing. So it's kind of interesting. So here are the points that I want to go over when you're setting your goals. And I know I've been guilty of them. That's why I know what these goal setting things should be, because I've made these mistakes. That's what makes me a good teacher. I make all the mistakes and then I tell you what not to do. Money doesn't solve all your problems. Now that sounds a little contradictory, because everyone thinks, well, if I had enough money to pay my bills or I had enough money for that would be better. Yes, there is what they call a bell curve to how much money you have as a curve to happiness. But once you pass a certain amount, it doesn't make you any happier. So yes, to a point, money can solve problems. But abundance comes in many forms, and one of them is creativity. And sometimes if you just look at what your end result is, sometimes things will happen that will come in ways that you might not expect. Colette Baron-Reid every January hosts a free vision board masterclass, which I highly recommend. I will put the link in the description because she's hosting it this year. It only lasts a week on Facebook, and then she takes it down, and it doesn't happen again until the next January. But if you're a member of her Inner Circle, I think she calls her program. Please don't quote me on that. If you're a member of her program, like a year-long membership, you can have access to it all year long. I did it last year, but I didn't actually end up making the vision board because I was busy with all the books that I was doing. This year I decided I'm going to do it, and I actually pre-created the border on the Bristol board so I would be ready. So that's kind of cool. The reason I say money doesn't always solve problems is that 73% of all lottery winners lose all the money that they won in the first 5 years, because money is energy. And now just think, if you got hit by a bolt of lightning, could your system absorb that energy? That amount of money is like being hit by a bolt of lightning. And it just amplifies any issues that you might have had. So sometimes if you have a codependency, you might spend all your money trying to get everybody to like you. If you're the invisible child, you might if you have the invisible child, you might spend it to be seen. That's why, and many people feel their lives were worse off than before they won. You may want money, but you might not want it in a quantity that could literally fry your system out. So be careful when you're asking for money or focusing on money as one of your goals. That said, there's nothing wrong with setting a financial goal. Just keep that in mind. I highly recommend, if you have been struggling with that as a goal for several years, read The Energy of Money. And the author's name escapes me at this moment, but it's a fantastic book. I've read it, and she walks you through all types of exercises and how to handle that energy and how to get it flowing consistently in your life. So I think that's a really good book to start with if that is one of your goals. The second goal is, do not set too many goals for one area of your life. You know, don't just focus on the career. A chair has 4 legs, where a stool has 3. It needs the balance. Yes, focus on career, but make sure you also take care of your physical health and your mental health and your spiritual health and your personal relationship. Like, don't just, focus on the career and then let everything else wither. You need to have that balance in your life. It just makes for a much happier life when you have things in balance. So don't set too many goals for one particular area. as I ironically set a ton of goals for my business, which isn't true. I've also set some health goals. One is to go to the gym every day. And of course, I did miss it today. But I have been going every day for 2 weeks, except for Christmas Day. Now, remember, take small steps because it's a long journey. And this ties into number 4, where you have 12 months. A lot of people set this goal and they think, okay, one of the popular ones is I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to lose weight. And I call it January at the gym. The same with the sweepstakes hobby. Everybody hears about the hobby. They think this is fantastic. They start entering. They realize it's a lot of work and they quit. Same with January at the gym. Everybody starts going to the gym in January. By February 1st, it's just like it was in December. People just hit it hard, get on all the machines, and they burn themselves out. You're better off only going 3 days a week and spending an hour there, and then maybe taking a stretch class on a 4th day and just taking it easy and just eating better, making sure you drink more water over a longer period of time. You're more likely to be successful at that than trying to get in there and bench press 100 pounds and 2 hours on the treadmill and that take all the HIIT classes that you can, and you'll just burn yourself out. You don't want to do that. Remember, you're setting annual goals, so you have all year to accomplish them. I have goals to publish a lot of books. I'm not going to publish all the books in January. That isn't going to happen. It's going to happen over a series of months. And so I'm pacing myself for a whole year, and we'll see how that goes. Remember, you're not going to accomplish all of them in 30 days. Some of them might happen in 30 days. I'm not saying it can't. Just like when I say in the rule of thumb for sweepstakes is it takes 3 to 6 months before you see prizes come in. That said, you could go online and win something instantly right now. It doesn't say it doesn't happen. I'm just saying be prepared if it doesn't happen instantly, that it can take a bit of time, and that's okay too, right? And the final one is, again, the balance, and add meditation in. One of the things that I was kind of forced to do, and I knew about this for years, and I kept putting it off and thinking, I don't want to do it, and I struggled with it. Part of the Silva training is I meditate every day. I should be meditating twice a day. I do manage once a day, not always twice a day. Again, that's a 2024 goal, is to get to that level. But I have found, and I believe this is Joe Vitale's quote, that's where magic and miracles lie. He is fantastic, by the way. I was lucky enough to be interviewed by him. And yeah, I love Joe Vitale. He wrote the book, The Attractor Factor. I highly recommend it. And he's always giving stuff away and different programs. And I think he just published another book. I have no idea how many books he's published. He's published so many. And that's what I found. Like, for example, I did a meditation on, I want everybody that needs to learn from me will find me. And then I didn't know how that was going to happen. And then I had a TikTok video go viral. It's just shy of 3 million views on my contest queen. Here I am thinking words for winning. No, I wasn't specific. I just said everybody that needs to learn from me will find me. And I went up like 15,000 new followers on TikTok. And I got a new contest client from that. And it's very exciting, all the things that are happening around that. Because I wasn't specific. I just said everybody that needs to learn from me will find me. And that's how it manifested. But I wasn't specific on the how. I believe it's Mike Dooley that says the how is the domain of the universe. And he's not wrong. So that was a bit fun when that video took off. So let's review this. as we wrap up our introduction and how we're going to set our goals for 2024. Oh, and before I do that, Laura says, have you listened to any Joe's music? I like most of his songs. You know what? Embarrassingly enough, I have not. And now I think I will. I'm going to be on the treadmill tomorrow morning. It's a good time to look up Joe. I'm pretty sure he'll be on Spotify or on YouTube. I can find him. And what I've heard his stories around his music and who he's gotten to play with and how he's manifested some of that, some adventures that never in a million years could he set up on his own. Clearly divine timing and the universe doing that. So the first goal is money doesn't solve all your problems. So when you're setting a financial goal, make it a goal about abundance and that you're open to all of the abundance that the universe has to offer, including creativity, connections, anything that's going to help you get to your end result. And you'd be surprised at what doors open and what things happen that get you to that goal that you wouldn't have expected. So don't just make it a financial goal, make it an abundance goal that includes money as one of the forms of abundance. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Bashar talks about the 5 forms of abundance. One of them is creativity. One of them is finances. And I'm embarrassed to say I can't remember what the other 3 are off the top of my head. However, we can easily look that up after this. 2, don't set too many goals for one area. You want to have goals that are over all of the areas of your life so that you are balanced, like a table or a chair that has, even legs to make it sturdy and balanced. You don't want to be, a bit lopsided. 3, it's small steps. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. If you are doing one new thing every day, you're going to be in a totally different place by the end of the year. One of the really interesting goals that I heard from somebody that talks about eating healthier is instead of trying to change out your whole diet and cut things out, what they say is do the add-ins versus the removal of. So if you're always adding in something healthier, it's eventually just going to squeeze the less healthy things out. So for example, if you have the munchies in the afternoon, maybe have a handful of almonds and a piece of fruit, and eventually the cravings for sweets and sugary things will fall off. If you want something hot, have some tea, herbal tea. Maybe sometimes I even just have hot water to increase my water intake just because I like the feel, of a nice warm mug. And I will just have hot water. This is actually tea, but I will sometimes just have hot water, not even lemon in it, just because I like the feel of the warmth. And it increases my water without any calories. So if you start doing that, before you know it, you're eating better and you haven't deprived yourself of anything, so to speak. So small steps. And it's, again, you have a year to accomplish your goals. Again, one of my goals is to publish a lot of books this year. I'm not going to do them in 30 days. That's impossible. I wouldn't have the quality. It wouldn't be good for anybody. I would burn myself out. You wouldn't read the quality. I wouldn't honor the people whose books I'm republishing. I would want to do it right. So I'm taking 12 months to accomplish my goal. If I wanted to lose, say 10 pounds, and I lose a pound a month or like half a pound a week, that's so much easier than trying to lose 10 pounds in a month versus over a long period of time. And you'll be less likely to get discouraged and fall off the wagon. You're more apt to stick to your goals if you see small incremental progress that isn't as hard to reach. So remember, you have 12 months, and add in meditation as much as you may not want to do it. Even try for 5 minutes a day. I've gotten up to 20. And the best times to do it is first thing in the morning and last thing at night. As you are in the hypnagogic state, this is from Mitch Horowitz. You might want to check out his work. He has some great interviews with Michael Sandler on Inspire Nation. So I highly recommend you go check out Mitch Horowitz, because he, similar to me, he is honoring Neville Goddard's legacy, just like I'm honoring Helene's and Tag's. And so he has talked a lot about Neville and living in the end result, and the different stories about Neville that he has updated and honored in his books. And, one of them is and Jose teaches this too, there's different brainwave frequencies. So when you're drifting off to sleep, you're in alpha. And when you're also just waking up, you're still in alpha. And that's when you're really connected to the subconscious and when you can program it. So as you're waking up, you can say, this is going to be a great day. You're telling your subconscious, oh, today's going to be a great day. And you can also, Joe Dispenza always talks about, when you're in that state, also walk through your day. What do you want today to look like? What do you want to happen? What do you want to accomplish? Who do you want to meet? Where do you want to go? What adventures do you want to have? That kind of thing. What do you want your day to look like? And you can start to program yourself in advance of what your day is going to look like. And it's really fascinating to how it works. Because remember, the subconscious only understands now. There's no past and there's no future when it comes to the subconscious mind. Jack Canfield in his courses always did, when he was speaking, always did the lemon exercise. You may have heard this one, maybe from other teachers too, where, you hold out your hands, you can feel, imagine a lemon is in your hand so you can kind of feel the weight of it. Close your eyes. He always has you close your eyes, smell it. And then, cut it in half and feel how juicy it is in your hands. You can feel it running down. Smell it some more. Oh, it's even stronger now. And then take a lick, and people's mouths are watering and they're making faces. You don't even have a lemon in front of you. The brain doesn't understand the difference. And he also does the same one where he has people stand up in their chairs and close their eyes and imagine they're walking out on a plank that is hanging over the edge of the Grand Canyon and look down. And people are terrified. It's hilarious. Your brain doesn't understand that it's not happening now. So why can't you tell it how you are going to have a glorious day? And it goes, okay, we're having a glorious day. And that's all it knows. So add some meditation into even if it's 5 minutes first thing in the morning and last thing before you go to bed. Just, sit and just close your eyes and even focus on your breath in and out. And that's all you do. You don't even have to picture anything. As the Buddhists say, if a thought comes in, just let it pass like a cloud. I have a crazy monkey mind that just like swirling. And I'm like, okay. And I just let it do its thing. Because I know eventually it's going to run out of steam. There'll be a day when I'm meditating and it just won't be quiet. I've heard a lot of people talk about that. It's just persistence. It's just like going to the gym. You're on that treadmill and pretty soon now you start with half an hour and then you're doing 45 minutes and you're doing an hour and now your speed's increased and now your incline's increased and you're getting faster and stronger. Just like any other skill in life, if you practice it, you will get stronger, you will get better. You'll be able to go deeper. You'll be able to go longer. And that is something I'd like you to try and add in. Oh, look at the word try. I shouldn't even use the word try. There's something I would like you to add in for 2024. As Yoda says, there is no try. It's do or do not. That's it. Master Yoda, probably the wisest one out of all of them. And on that note, I want you not to try to have a good 2024, to have a magnificent 2024, because Helene lived every day with expectant excitement and not knowing what adventure the day will bring. And imagine if we live in that energy for the entire year. What a year we will have to talk about next January. And just think of that. And keep following me on my social and let me know what exciting things happen, because I love those stories. I love to see and to hear adventures people have gone on, and get emails and get comments on my blog posts and get comments on my social posts, because it really makes me happy when I am putting out this work and it really is changing lives. And I know that's what Helene was doing, and I'm blessed enough to be carrying her torch. And I'm really excited to see how TAG's work affects everybody this year. And so thank you very much. From the bottom of my heart, I'm very grateful to have you all as part of my life and on this crazy journey that I'm taking in this incarnation. And I look forward to a lot more of these lives in 2024.